So what I want to hear about what they're saying though at EY. But we'll go through this first.
Yeah, that's part of it.
So, a little bit of an awkward start here, but welcome to eDiscovery Leaders Live, hosted by ACEDS and sponsored by Reveal. I am George Socha. I head up brand awareness at Reveal. This week, we are broadcasting live from Legalweek 2024 in New York City. On each episode of eDiscovery Leaders Live, I get the chance to chat with luminaries in eDiscovery and related areas. Past episodes are available on the Reveal website. Go to revealdata.com, select resources, then select eDiscovery Leaders Live. On this very special episode, I am pleased to have with me two guests. First, we've got to my immediate right, Todd Marlin. Todd Marlin is the Global Forensic and Integrity Services Technology and Innovation Leader at EY. Good thing EY is short because the rest of that's pretty long.
That's a mouthful. I'm sorry.
And to his right then is Wendell Jisa, who is the CEO of Reveal. And we are here today to talk about the very recent announcement. So tell us, what is the announcement? What's this about?
It's a very special announcement and something that, in fact, we've been working on for 18 to 24 months. And it's really, about two special organizations coming together to collaborate on things that clients need. And what I mean by that is, the e-discovery industry has evolved, right? And if we go back to the beginning of time where we were flicking pages to then we were trying to organize by metadata and we realized we can get documents electronically, then we're like, wow, search is available. Right. And then I remember when I was here in New York City trying to walk into law firms to convince them that, hey, well, can we think about statistics or machine learning? Do we have to look at every document? Maybe there are some approaches to bulk categorize. And then we've gone through TAR 1.0 to TAR N.0, right? And all around this time, the rest of the world the cost of compute's been going down, and the accessibility of technology at the big tech players has become more available. And now is another moment. It's another watershed moment where radical change can happen, where you can bring AI into almost every facet of how these business processes are conducted. And so my initial attraction to teaming up, with Reveal is, well, how do we bring the unique domain expertise of Ernst & Young together with a unique technology ecosystem where we can containerize that knowledge so that attorneys and other stakeholders can get those documents in a repetitive and an interesting fashion. And then, well, maybe now, in addition, there's that other leap, which is how can we ask the data about itself so we can generate an answer along with the documents, which, there was another watershed moment, which was certainly a year ago, while we were on this journey where, of course, ChatGPT was released, right? Which essentially was a great development in the world because it helped to make a facet of artificial intelligence understandable to the world.
So is this new relationship one more software provider relationship? Is this a partnership? Is it an alliance? How would you describe it, and what does that mean?
Yes, I think that's an excellent question. It is certainly not just a software provider relationship. This is about teams, technology, and process coming together to solve business problems for lawyers and other stakeholders. And essentially, Ernst & Young has a program called the Alliance Program. We don't have hundreds of alliances. You can, in fact, go on our website and you can get the list of our alliances. And there are a lot of them are, big tech companies like Microsoft. That's a public thing. We're one of the largest customers of Microsoft, and we're also an alliance partner, and we innovate solutions with them around important business problems for the corporate, government, and the world. And essentially, that's what we're looking to do with Reveal in the legal and compliance space. And it's at multiple levels. So at the tech level, it's about bringing our tech that over time we've designed for legal and compliance problems, which frankly is less about documents. So we have a lot of unique technology around structured data, dealing with all different sorts of issues. We're not going to go invent, document analysis platforms, but at the same time, we have a number of unique accelerators that when combined, plus the domain knowledge, it gives clients and stakeholders with real business problems opportunities to approach these problems in a novel fashion that not only will bring down the cost, so the part of the process, which has been the most expensive part of the process, which is everything to get the documents and the information you care about so you can ultimately ask the questions, that you start with that. You don't end with that, right? And if you're starting with that, instead of ending with that, then, oh my God, your lawyers and your compliance professionals that you're relying on to be your tour guides and your advisors to deal with these serious and important problems can really flex their expertise, because you have not exhausted the lion's share of your budget getting to the point where you can even ask the questions and analyze what it means. And the key thing where the rubber meets the road here is, because we can change that calculus of spend, we can also bring the world's best experts and subject matter specialists in business. So at EY, we're organized by sector. So we have people that show up to work every day. They only focus on certain, like we have a financial services organization, and everybody in that lives, eats, and breathes financial services. And it's the same in health and life sciences, et cetera, right? And this is a way to, instead of making something a talking point, say, oh yeah, and a lot of organizations will say, oh yeah, we're sector, we approach sector, and it's a talking point. And what that means is, and from my perspective, for most organizations, hey, well, we have some people that used to work in the sector. No. The step now we can take is to digitize that knowledge in workflows and models to get to better outcomes and really create knowledge management in the litigation and regulatory process for legal departments and compliance departments. We're doing that with structured data, and now we're doing it with documents, and we're bringing it together.
So Wendell, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, just to sort of like tag along on what Todd was saying, we talked about it yesterday that Reveal is really focusing on technology within the practice of law, specifically artificial intelligence, and how do we leverage that to transform and propel the practice of law. This alliance puts us in a position to propel artificial intelligence specifically within the practice of law. I mean, at a global scale, there's a tremendous amount of different segments within EY that now have a platform to be able to go out there and build this model library, custom built for EY and their customers, but also internal organization.
So that's there's two important points I'd like to sort of emphasize and tag along with Wendell. Number one, when we started this relationship, we had this concept of a model library. And essentially, when you look at most organizations that have a regulatory and litigation profile, 95% of the issues they're dealing with are not unicorns. There is a lot of repeat issues that occur, but every time it's a new thing and you're not capturing the knowledge. The idea is bring our subject matter expertise aligned to sector, aligned to geography to deal with issues. That's a tangible thing. Now, in the last couple of weeks, you guys released Ask, which I think is a radical and a novel approach to being able to switch the process around and rethink this. Bring the questions up front. And you know what EY is getting very excited about is there's a lot of application for that even outside of event-driven situations. And so we're going nuts thinking about all the different workflows about how we can drive subject matter expertise into the process to be novel around that. And so you have, and the other point there is that gives you the opportunity to deal with the 5%, right? Because you can deal with the 5% much, much more efficiently. The second point, we announced it yesterday. We're not just starting. We've been at this for 18 months to 2 years,
And we've been activating globally. And it's not just the common law countries where this has applicability, because all around the globe, we call it e-discovery. You're using e-discovery tools for investigations. There's a ton of investigations and compliance needs around the globe. I mean, they may be generated as a result from a different geography, but those obligations exist. And so we're seeing great uptake because there's a different way to do things. And, frankly, we're changing how we do things. And that's a little uncomfortable at times, but it's what's right. And there's a tremendous opportunity here.
We've got just a few minutes left here. This has been very informative. Wendell, what's your perspective on this new alliance?
So I think that the fact that you've got all this knowledge, expertise within EY on a global scale, I think that you guys have operations in over 50 countries worldwide. And you can combine that with our data science team and our intellectual property on our artificial intelligence, as well as other platform software. You combine those two together and you collaborate, put that in the hands of EY to go out there and distribute. Our intentions are aligned towards what we want to accomplish, which is not only bringing automation to the practice of law, but actually accelerating the way we manage data within EY's customer base. But if we don't align together in order to do that and combine and work together, our data science team, their experts, and work forward on it, we won't be able to accomplish what their goals are. And I think that for Todd, he's a pioneer in this. He's really one of the individuals that came up with this strategy. And when we talk about working on this for 18 to 24 months, it has not been an easy lift. You've got a massive organization, and Todd has been a steward of this and moving this forward, but now has the momentum of the entire EY organization behind it, fueled by us, but without Todd and his counterparts, we can't accomplish what the true goal is, which is managing data faster, making organizations, specifically corporations, more operationally efficient and profitable.
Absolutely. And look, I go back to what the roots of this were. Why did we care? And it was about disrupting and changing how these processes are done. Because EY are domain experts, the folks that have the problems are domain experts, and the knowledge is not managed in any way. Up until a few years ago, the most advanced thing I think you could say from a knowledge management perspective is some organizations might keep priv databases. So they know every attorney or every document that's ever been privileged. Of course you should know that, right? Because
So this is a massive, ambitious, aggressive undertaking. It's quite the alliance. Has there been one, to your knowledge, either one of you, like this in the legal space before?
Well, no, I don't think so, which is why we sort of raced to the altar to do it, because we felt that the plan for Reveal and the moves that were being made and what was available even 24 months ago was leading in some areas. Of course, the blocking and tackling in this area is foundational. That's table stakes. You got to get that right. But that's not the value. Let's be honest. Does anybody really like that? Does anybody wake up in the morning like, geez, I want to process data. I want to go collect data. No, it's an obligation, and you can't mess it up. But what's valued is getting the answers to the questions. And this is how you get the answers to the questions in the most efficient, defensible, cost-effective, reusable way. And it's challenging because there's frankly many years of doing the same way, and it's why I've shared some of those stories and the evolution. And look, am I saying wholesale, just stop what you're doing and go embrace the new way? No, it requires change management, planning, maybe doing, starting out with some maybe smaller different risk profile type situations to prove it out and figure out how it works for your organization and how to set up the business process. Because it's not just technology. It's technology, subject matter expertise, business process, and people. And the people part, we're changing their role. And that's a good thing. We're actually placing them in the position of being knowledge workers instead of process executors.
Todd, Wendell, thank you so much for joining us today, for sharing this with us. If you don't remember from the beginning, Todd is, with the very short title, the Global Forensic and Integrity Services Technology and Innovation Leader at EY. Wendell, of course, is CEO of Reveal. I am George Socha. This has been eDiscovery Leaders Live, hosted by ACEDS and sponsored by Reveal. Once more, Todd, Wendell, thank you so much.
Thanks, George.
Thank you.
Good job, Todd.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, George.